Crafters, and welcome to another KittyCraft stream. This one is going to be State of Decay 2 Tutorial Part 2.
Enjoy your water and power, everyone.
Last time we covered the basics of getting into the tutorial and what you need to do to set up the tutorial. We covered the first steps of setting up your own custom playthrough. And some of the first things I do to get my citizens set up and geared up. We also talked about my personal ways to enhance the story through just creativity and creating a backstory and a deeper environment for the game. Today's tutorial is only going to be about an hour in length, and today we're going to go over different tips for combat. This will be the second and final part of the tutorial. After this, we'll just be doing gameplay for the Unbitten, which is the community we have together right now. So this tutorial is going to include combat tips, show you how to add from your legacy pool a new survivor, and show you just the general methods I use to continue playing the game, including tips on my continued method of making it fun for me. So that's what we're going to do over this 1 hour period together. And then I get to go play in the snow because it's been snowing about 30 feet up here. So, yeah. But I'm just taking about an hour break to hang out with you guys and let my back rest a little bit. So without any further ado, let's get started with the State of Decay 2 Tutorial 2. So for me, I'm going to grab Mr. Beeper and I'm going to head outside. Alright, for this next step, all I did last time was I used this fading billboard, which was right next to me, to scout out and then hit the tactical zones that I needed to gather materials from, like getting bullets and gas, food, and medicine to make sure that my community was secure. Today, I'm going to be hitting the ones that don't have any rucksacks or have rucksacks I'm not interested in, to show you my alternate raiding method. So last time I showed you the method where I took everything. Today I'm going to show you the other method I use while scouting. And while we're doing that, we're also going to show off some combat tips that I have. For me, there's like 3 main methods of combat, and I'm going to show them off as we have time. I'm sure the zombies will not mind participating in the stab and grab whatsoever. Alright, it says there's one right over here that should be able to help us out. Here we go. So what you want to do when you got a zombie on you, you got a few choices of how to take them down. We have the slip and dip, which I'm going to show you right now. If I can get a good line on the zombie. There you go. Slip and dip is to slip past the zombie. So the zombie's coming at your face, you slip past them, dip behind them, and execute them. Now, your execute might look a little different if you're not, if your characters aren't fully maxed like mine, but it's the same process regardless. So I'm going to grab another zombie and I'm going to give you another copy of the slip and dip. These 2 zombies up here are both going to get slipped and dipped just to show you what I'm talking about. So, there you go, there's a slip and dip. And this is for when the zombies are aggroed on you. Hello? Slip and dip. There you go. The other method that I like to use is the grab and stab. So I'm going to use this fine zombie over here to show you the grab and stab. Alright, I had to make sure which button was the grab button. Alright, so when you approach a zombie, you want to grab him. You got to get behind him. So you use the slip and dip into the grab, and then you go ahead and can do the execute. That was kind of sloppy, so I will show you another example. It's been a minute since I've done the stab and grab. I usually only use the slip and dip, but one of my favorite ways to use the stab and grab is to come up behind a zombie that doesn't know I'm there. It's a little easier this way. You grab them and you stab them, okay? Again, I'll show you that one more time with this zombie coming up here. I prefer the slip and dip. I just think it's a better method. But, you know, when either you're on a higher difficulty or you're just coming in, the stab and grab can be an excellent method of getting rid of the same Zeds. Basically, the slip and dip and stab and grab, they're just both very effective methods. The slip and grip is more if the zombie has noticed you, while the stab and grab is kind of like you're not noticed yet, and you have the element of stealth. You can still do it if they've noticed you. It's just a little bit heckin' harder, like I showed off the first time. Alright. obviously during combat, there's the obvious method of using a weapon. So if you ever want to just take down zombies quickly, you can always use a quick pew like that. But the pew, the difference with the pew and the melee options is that the pew does make noise. So it's going to make a small circle of noise on the mini-map, and it's also going to consume a bullet, whereas the stab and grab and slip and dip don't consume ammo. That's why I'm promoting them as excellent ways to get rid of small groups of zombies. You know, I'd say up to like 5 zombies if you could just stealth in there and use those 2 methods to your advantage. That typically helps. I don't think you have stealth, my boy. I don't remember your exact build. Yeah, no, you have scouting, not stealth. So I'm not going to bust that door open. It's going to make too much noise. Oh, we've already done this building anyway. Okay, we don't need to do this building. Sorry, crafters. I woke up recently. I've been throwing snow around. My brain's kind of frozen, so give me a couple minutes to warm up. Alright, so this door's locked. That's how much noise happens when you bust open a door. I'm going to go ahead and shut the door, so if any Zeds want to come, they're going to have to go through that door. Alright, we're going to start showing off my second method. This is tutorial part 2, so let's show off. The first time I showed you, open the box, take everything, cart it all home. The second time, I'm going to show you my process for figuring out if I want an item or not. So I'm looking at the first one. It's a 10-pound shovel for 50 parts. I think that's a fair trade-off, so I'll take it. This is a CNC mill. The CNC mill is a more efficient scrapping method to make parts, but you do have to have power at your base. So I'm going to take it, but I'm going to take it to sell it. The boombox, it's 3 pounds for 5 parts. I'm going to skip that and just take the parts themselves. And I'm going to move on to the next box. And I'm going to go ahead and just slow search the box because we already made a ton of noise opening the door. So the trade-off here is making less noise when searching. A tube of fireworks, they don't weigh that much. They don't scrap down for much, but they're very useful later on, so we'll take them. Alright, we're going to go for container number 3 now. And we're going to do this method all the way down this strip, just trying to evaluate each and every item for its usefulness. This is obviously a rucksack of food, so we're going to leave that here for right now. That's a single box of seeds. I'm going to see if I can find another one. If I don't find a second box of seeds, then I'm probably not going to grab that right now. Because right now I don't have a garden and that does absolutely nothing for me. So, well, some people say it's good to pile them up. I don't think so. I did find another one, so like I said, I will take them. We'll start a bit of a seed stack. We're going to go ahead and go out and go back into the next building. Alright, in this case, we've opened the next box and we found 13 rounds of ammo that's for his rifle and a cup of coffee. We've only got 2 slots at the bottom, so if I take this ammo and this coffee, I'm pretty much done and I'm not going to go any further. So I'm not going to take that right now. I'm going to see what the back holds for me, because there might be something that I want more than the coffee and the ammo at this time. So we're going to go ahead and open this up. We got a Molotov and some. We could take the parts because we've got a stack for that. There's a gardening textbook and a Molotov. Alright, let's try the last box. Come on down with the last box. Let's see if there's anything else I really, really want here. Because right now I'm making a list. Another gardening book, a bottle of painkillers, and some snacks. For me, I'm going to take the snacks so I can run back. And I'm going to take the Molotov because in order, that's just priority for me. Now, I am going to remember where I was because I'm going to want to go back and get those things. I'm going to show you guys how I do this. I'm just going to run up to this little area over here, which is this fenced-in complex. We are on Providence Ridge, if anyone's wondering what map this is. And for me, I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to come to this corner. I'm going to consider this a drop point. I'm going to drop the shovel, the CNC mill, and some of this stuff that is not stacked up. I'm just going to go put it on the ground, and then I'm going to run back to where I was just harvesting, just gathering.
Head back to base. We have a guest you should talk to.
Okay, come in here. We're gonna empty that first desk because I want both of those things. These gardening books, I can sell them, and that painkiller I'll actually use. So we're gonna take all that stuff, and then we're gonna head back to the area where we just dropped everything. This is the only method I've found of really keeping track of what you've searched, where you've searched, because as you saw, it grayed out the building on the minimap. It said you're done here because you searched all the containers. The method I've found to kind of avoid doing that is very simply to just not search all the containers. We can put this shovel on our back, which will allow us to take an extra item, and then we're going to run up the hill with this stuff, cash it in, and then go back. But yeah, if you don't want it to grade out, if you're like, hey, I want to come back and search there, simply don't open all the containers, and then it will leave it marked, filled in white, and then you don't have to worry about it. We still have our survivor here because I haven't finished trading, so I can sell stuff directly to this person. We're going to sell 2 books for 170, and that was the only thing out of that first stack that I actually wanted to sell. So we're going to go ahead and just use our card to dump off real fast. We're going to put away those. We're going to put away these, this, and this. Alright, and then we're going to run back down the hill and pick it up. There is a few minutes built into the game where stuff will not dissipate, it won't go away, but if you leave an item on the ground long enough, it will eventually disappear. So this method is good for short term, but don't plan on using this method for like long-term dump sites. It's best if you want the item to either sell it or put it away, or if you're going to sell it later, just put it away for now. Or put it in a car, or put it on a person, or put it somewhere. Because if you leave it on the ground, it's not necessarily going to be there next time. No. It says online that it's supposed to last up to like one in-game set of 30 minutes. But I don't know if that's 30 minutes game time, 30 minutes real time, or if it's even 30 minutes at all, because people have tested it, and some people have said that the item sat there for like 4 hours, and some people have said that they literally lost the item within like 10 minutes. So I don't know if it's like a hard and fast code, or if it depends on the situation, or I don't know. So I have no idea if there's a setting for it. I have looked through the settings quite a bit, but I'm not sure. It would be nice if you could turn that off, but I don't know how it would, how the system would adjust to that. So I would love to have just a pile of stuff outside my house, but I don't know how realistic that is. Alright, so we finished that. We are going to go down and raid that last building now. As we had that set of 3, if everybody remembers. We did the first building and the second building, but then there was too much stuff, so we weren't able to continue. She's heard us, so easiest way, slip and dip. And then continue on with your day. It doesn't use a whole heck ton of stamina, and it's pretty quiet, so it shouldn't alert too many other zombies. Now in this scenario, you've got one zombie standing on that side of the road, and one kind of behind him. So what I would do here is I would stealth around the back of these trucks, trying to stay behind this guy's line of sight. I'm going to come in with a grab and stab, just like that. And I'm going to pick up this plague sample, and I'm immediately going to stealth over and grab and stab this one as well. So I don't have to deal with them. He's not going to turn around. There's no slip and dip. There's just grab, stab, and you're done. It sounds really, really easy, but I know on the harder difficulties it can sometimes be tricky. That's why you have to mix in headshots, and you just have to be ready to go, go, go if you need to. Put the pedal to the metal. Alright, we're going to go ahead and open this last door. I swear I unlocked these, but I think when you turn off the game, it doesn't register what doors you unlocked or locked. Looks like we were going to have a friend, so let's grab this ammo, get down behind this wall. Start searching. Alright, he's already coming. And obviously he knows exactly where you are, because they've coded the zombies to be like little AI trackers. Like, he didn't see me. You guys saw I was behind the wall. He came through the window and immediately tracked directly to my position, even though I wasn't moving. So be aware that they're gonna pretty much spawn right on you. There's nothing you're gonna do. You make the noise, you pay the price. That's how that works. I have a problem with that method. Personally, I wish they could update it to if the zombie doesn't see you, it doesn't aggro on you, because like it didn't see you. Because in real life, hypothetically, there's a zombie apocalypse. The zombie is not going to blindly wander exactly where you are. It's going to, like, look around for you. So I just wish that could be updated a little bit. Alright, we were able to take everything. Let's get back up top. Doing pretty... Oh, we can do this car. I've got enough room. Alright, just some shells. We'll take those. For me, the order of importance for kind of gathering stuff, ammo is premium because obviously no boom booms, no bang bang, okay? Like if you don't have ammo, you can't perform the tasks of shooting zombies and eliminating them. It's just, that's not how that works. So no boom boom, no bang bang. So we look for ammo first. After ammo, we're going to be looking for crafting resources like parts. And, I can't think of the other ones right now, but like ethanol parts, things that you need to craft other things. That's going to be my secondary pool. That's going to be something that's also very important. Obviously, rucksacks are important. Depending on how many materials you have at home, depends on how important the rucksacks. If you have none of the material, then it's extremely important. If you're low, it's pretty important. But if you have a good amount, it's kind of like, all right, there's a rucksack there. I'll make sure that I grab it. I'll grab it later.
How about it?
Let's go ahead, and I really just don't want this gym add-on. It does grant a small amount of health and stamina, but to me, it's not worth it for 25 pounds. So we're going to make $102. He's not going to have a whole heck of a lot left, but we don't want to sell him anything else. We want to see what we can buy, if anything, off of him. His prices are pretty steep. He wants $1,000 for 43 seed packets. You know what? I might actually do that trade just to keep him in the black. So now he's got $1,000 in his pocket. I'll take the chemicals too. The only reason I'm actually buying them is to keep the trade doors open. If the person you're trading with runs out of money, fun fact, you don't get to trade with them anymore. So I'm literally just moving that to the first slot. I don't know why that bothers me. It just does. So we're going to put all of this stuff away. And so now we've got it in the base where it needs to be. But yeah, if your trader runs out of money...
It's just me. Hey, over here.
Alright. So now, we come to the next pivotal step. For me, at some point, it is important to choose a leader. You can see there's a giant orange glowing circle that's saying, hey, Kittycraft, like at any point, Beeper, Hannah, or Farhat can take control of this community and go from hero status to leadership status, and they can have the power to run the community and go through a quest line of their own, because there is a leadership quest line that appears as soon as you choose a leader. And so I'm going to show you my decision-making process as far as choosing a leader or moving a hero into a leadership role. Alright, so for me, to move a hero, because if you guys missed it last time, there's several stages that a person goes through in your community. There's the before, I think it's called outsider. That's a person that's wanting to come into your community but has no relationship to you. So when somebody shows up at your base to be recruited, they're called an outsider because you don't know them, they don't know you. The next stage is recruit. Recruit is someone you have actively welcomed into your community, but you don't know a lot about because they're new. Then you have, goodness, I can't remember what the next step is called. I think it's called citizen is the next step. And that means they've been there a while and they've earned enough respect in the community to be recognized as part of the community. Then you have the step that we have right now, which is called hero class. That's somebody that's gone above and beyond in your community and has their bonus activated, which looks like this. The text is no longer grayed out. It's white, and whatever bonus is actively being applied to your community. Hero says people seem to listen to my ideas because it's somebody that's gone even further than a citizen and they've been in the community a long time and they've done a lot of stuff and they've earned the respect to be a hero. And then above hero is only one tier, and it's the top of the pyramid, and it's leader, and that is a single person who leads your community and makes decisions for your community as far as a direction for the community to be going. Again, there's 4 leadership types. We have warlord, we have sheriff, builder, and trader, and those are the 4 tops of the pyramid that you can choose. Warlord focuses on peace through violence. Builder focuses on building up your base and making it a stronghold. Trader focuses on opening lines of trade and opening your doors to the community. And then Sheriff focuses on protecting the innocent of the community and making sure that everybody's safe, not just your building, but everyone around them. So those are the four values or party systems for State of Decay 2. So the process I go through to pick which one of these people is going to get to step into the orange glowing circle of safety is pretty simple. I open their character view, which is this little panel that tells me everything about the character, and I do a little bit of a math check. They need to have, for me to be like in charge, you need to have pretty high stats. I want to see 150, 150. What 150, 150 means is that the health and the stamina both need to be 150 with all the buffs and all the opportunities they're given. 150, 150. I don't want a leader that's weak sauce and can't handle themselves, because a lot of the leadership missions require you as the leader to go out and do something. So I obviously don't want somebody who can't handle that business. On the next block, I'm looking to see if their hero bonus is something that if they were to die, because this is a permadeath game, if their hero bonus is something I can't stand to lose. There's very few of those, but there would be 2 hero bonuses I think I wouldn't want to stand to lose. This isn't one of them, but the 2 I could think of off the top of my head would be healing items are more effective, and I just had the other one. Anyway, there's another one that's pretty rare that they're really hard to roll, and I would not like them. But this one, plus 15 max health, is actually pretty... I have 3 that I could think of that do this. So I check it for how uncommon is their hero bonus. If their hero bonus is pretty common, I'm like, alright, you're standing a pretty good chance of becoming the leader. Next, I look at how many traits they have. So in this case, I'm looking for... do they have 1 trait, 2 trait, 3 traits, or 4 traits? 1 is the minimum, 4 is the maximum, so I'm just looking at how many traits they actually have, and I'm trying to figure out, for me, just what does it do for me? For her, there's 2, they don't really do anything because they just affect skills, and then she has a plus 7 to morale, so I'm like, that's a pretty good bonus, and I honestly give her, like, benefit of doubt for having something positive. And then I just look at her skills and I say, like, is this somebody I could take out by themselves and make them survive? She's got backpacking, resourcefulness, swordplay, and gunslinging. The first 2 skills don't really matter as much as the last 2. Because she has swordplay and gunslinging, I'm feeling pretty much settled that if Hannah goes out in the wilderness, she can handle herself. Then we look at the next card. Beeper's kind of close. He's cutting at 151 on the stamina, so he would be like my last choice out of this community. And because he has Meal Plan, to me Meal Plan is out. That's the other one that I would not trade. This is kind of hard to roll for me, so I'm gonna say you're disqualified because I don't want to lose Meal Plan. So then you notice this is the other back from the edge. He is the Blood Plague Survivor, so because his trait is ultra rare, it kind of comes down to Hannah. So we're just gonna pick Hannah for the leader, and we're gonna kind of move on. Grab Miss Hannah. It's going to ask you, are you sure you want to promote Hannah to lead your community? If you have a different named citizens, obviously it's going to say, do you want to promote X as your community leader? And I'm going to say yes. You're going to get this beautiful orange screen that says leader assigned, and that means Hannah's now taken power in the Unbitten, and she's now the boss. Which... it just makes everybody feel better. A leader's been assigned. Now leadership missions will come into your community. So if you're sitting there and you don't have a leader assigned and you're wondering where your leadership missions are, that's where they are. They're not going to assign you leadership style missions. You're not going to get to play through the main story campaign if you do not have somebody in power to take responsibility for your community. It just will not happen. So now I've grabbed my Warlord, and I notice there's a bloater on the edge of my perimeter, so I'm going to go tap that bad boy out. I don't want him here, so there you go. We get a little bit of influence for that. But that's not really why I killed him. I killed him because I don't want him walking around. I don't want him causing issues for me. We're also going to go down into town and take out that screamer that populated last time with Beeper, because obviously we don't want to deal with that. Alright, we're 24 minutes into the stream, so just under, like, a little bit of way through, just under half through. And we've already showed off the main thing I wanted to showcase, which was really, like, the fighting. So, the next thing I'm going to showcase when we get back to base is how to add a community member from your pool, if you're unaware of how to do that. Also, welcome in if you just came in. We're just running a little bit of tutorial for State of Decay 2, because there have been some mechanics that have been tweaked and changed, and I just want to make sure that everybody's on the same boat as far as coming in and enjoying the game, because I think this is one of the better zombie apocalypse games out there. Go ahead and shoot the screamer, and then I saw the zombie. We're going to slip a dip, and then we're all done. Alright, very nice.
It's clear, but I can't really secure this place with a plague heart so close by.
Alright, let's head back to base, and we're going to show off how the new system works of how to add people from your survivor pool into your community. That's a relatively new mechanic. Back in the old day, not to sound incredibly like I've been playing this forever, but I have, back in the starting days of State of Decay 2, there was only recruitment. So you would pick your best 3, either from your pool or from rolling, and then you would just go. And that was it. You had your team, and you recruited a bunch more people as you went through to fill in your team, and you could never access any more than the 3 that you picked. So you got 3 that you picked, and the rest were recruitment, and that was just the end of the story. Now, you pick your best 3, and you try to survive long enough to get enough money in the bank to recruit somebody. And once you've got that done, you can recruit somebody. So I usually use my leader for this, but that's just deepening the lore for me, because it's one of my leader's tasks. But you don't have to do that. You could pick any member of your community. It doesn't have to be a leader. It doesn't have to be a hero. You could pick a recruit. It doesn't matter. Anyone can access this. And you're gonna go to your inventory screen, and you're gonna use the right bumper if you're on console to just bumper over 1, and you're looking for the second option down that says Recruit Legacy Survivor for 1,200 influence. So it's important you've got a lot of money, because it costs 1,200 influence to recruit a person. And it does have a cooldown of 30 minutes. As you recruit more often or more stably, that timer goes like higher. So the first time you're going to get a 30-minute cooldown. The second time, I've had a 30-minute cooldown pretty often, but sometimes it's more like 40 minutes. And by the time I've recruited almost everyone I want, you can recruit up to the 9 slots. So you still can't recruit for 10, 11, or 12, which are the final 3 slots in your community to hard cap you, but you can recruit to what is called the soft cap, which is 9 members. So in total, you bring in your 3 starting party, whether you rolled them or you pulled them from a legacy pool, and then you can recruit 6 people from the legacy pool to help you. If you don't want to recruit people from your legacy pool, obviously the game provides you people as you play and as you do things. But if you have people sitting in your legacy pool, this is a great way to pull them in and get them some gameplay time. But you can only recruit 6 people. So you're going to want to pick the 6 best people for pulling into the pool. I know who I want, but I'm just letting you know, you can only do 6.
Sure, we can help with that. I'll see if any of your neighbors are available.
Once you click the button, it charges you right away, and it brings you to this screen. Because basically you call out and they say they'll get somebody. This is my legacy pool. I have 15 of the 50 available people. Some of these people are more useful than others, but they're all in here for particular reasons, because I've already gone through and sorted them. If you want to see my sorting process and how I got to this step in the process, just let me know, and I can make a video. Hi, how are you doing? Sorry, I didn't see chat. It has been a long time. I tried to get a job and it didn't work out. This run, I'm literally just doing a tutorial run for people that are trying to get started, or for trying to understand like the new mechanics, because I've seen a lot of people posting on like the Facebook group for State of Decay 2 saying like they don't understand like how to recruit somebody from the pool or how people are getting these people in the first place. So again, if you guys need any tutorial help, hit me up, chat, hit me up on YouTube, and I'm more than happy to make a tailored video to whatever you guys are confused on. Oh, I didn't see the redeem hydrate. I'll do that right now. My apologies. Thank you so much for the cheer as well. I'm running on slow right now, my guys. I am running on ultra slow. Like I said, I've been shoveling snow for 6 days now, so I'm here, but I'm struggling. Alright, so this is my pool. These are my 15 members. We can pick one right now for the 1200 influence, and the person that I want most in my community would probably be, I'm thinking, I gotta pick who I want most. This is always a hard decision for me. I want everyone, but that's not really how this works. So I'm going to grab my computer specialist so I can upgrade my command post. And yeah, and then you just choose recruit. You confirm you want that person. And then you'll see my population jumped up to 4 in the top left corner. And now on the community screen, you can see she's here. She's available. I can switch over to her. Here she is right here. She's good to go. I've been charged $1,200 for her to be here, and we're good to go. So now obviously that she's in here, my first priority is, hey, we've got computers, let's go ahead and start moving the command center up. What the command center does, for those of you who are unaware what command centers do, is they control this far right tab called outposts. Just owning a base allows you to have 2 outposts. If you want more than 2 outposts, you need to upgrade your command center. That's the way that you get more outpost slots that you can take over. So that basically bankrupted us as far as materials goes, so we got to get back over to Beeper, tell him to get his little boots in order, and we got to go see if I can scrounge up any more materials. Okay, so Kristen is taking over that house. Thanks, Kristen. Oh, I didn't see Kristen come in. Dang. I would have liked to trade with her, but that's fine. Materials? Okay, so there are materials down there at this house. Because it's further, I'll grab the car. My measure for grabbing the car or not is really just dependent on where I'm going. I used to have a hard and fast rule that was 500 meters or more was when I grabbed the car, but now it just depends. Like, I'm grabbing the car for this because it's in a plague heart zone, and I haven't finished going over there and making sure it's like secure. So it's just kind of a nightmare right now, so I'm just going to drive over there real fast. Yeah, I used to be really a stickler and be like, I'm not using my gas at all. It's got to be like 1,000 meters for me to go. But then I decreased it to 5, and then I decreased it to just use like common sense judgment, because being hard on myself really just gets my characters killed. That's all it does. And these are legacy characters for me. These are characters I've been sitting there building up and taking care of and babying. So I would really rather they not get killed if at all possible. Alright. Got about 30 minutes left in the stream, so we're going to raid some materials, and then if you guys have anything you guys want to learn, let me know, and I can try to tailor the stream a little bit better. If not, I've got a couple of smaller topics we can discuss, but nothing too exciting, because I've already done the bulk of what I want to discuss. Obviously, there's going to be more gameplay, because it's kind of hard to play the game and not play the game. I mean, I could just stand there and stare at a wall for 30 minutes, but that's not very exciting, and it's not very fun, so I don't think either you guys or I would like to do that. Bless you, management. Management and I are both blessed and excited to be here. It's been a terrible snow. Like I said, for the past 6 days, we've been blizzarded in. So we've been trying to dig ourselves out, and today is the last day of the first blizzard, and tomorrow starts the next blizzard. So, woo-woo. It's very exciting for us. So we're going to be on a lot more over these next 3 days, because honestly, sitting there and watching snowfall doesn't make me very excited about life. So yeah, if you guys have missed me, my apologies again for being gone, but real life had to happen, and the thing I tried to do didn't work, so we're back here, hanging out. Yeah, I know the mysterious stranger expired. I really don't care. Thank you. Sometimes you're gonna get tasks. I think that's my next point. Is sometimes you're going to get tasks that are going to pop up, and a younger Kittycraft would have done every single task that came in. The more mature and stylized Kittycraft is like, bro, I am not running across the map for you because you want something silly. You have to think about your community and your members first. Like I've said twice now, this is a permadeath game. If I do something silly and get in a bad position with one of my community members, they do have the ability to get killed. And if they die, they're done. They're gone. You have to get another person. And the fact that I've spent so long building and grinding and perfecting these characters means I don't want that to happen. So I'm not going to take unnecessary risks or do tasks that I don't like. Because my community comes first. My community, my gameplay, my game through, not whatever the heck they want me to go run around and do. Oh, Farhat has decided to dance for you guys. I hope you guys liked his dance. It was an interpretive Farhat dance. I don't know what he's doing it again. If you missed it, here he is. He's going. He's doing the Farhat shuffle for you guys. I hope you guys like the entertainment coming in. My community is nothing if not glitchy. So let's check. I guess management's right. We should talk about upgrades. So you can see when an object's upgrading, you get a little orange bar on it. And it does tell you at the bottom of the pop-up that shows up a timer. So for this particular upgrade, it wants another 5 minutes, like 6 minutes to finish. So it's going to take a real life 6 minutes to finish this upgrade, not some in-game process. This is 6 minutes of my time.
I live in Michigan. Our weather has been windy, snow on top of a layer of ice for the last week.
I can definitely relate to snow and ice, man. I am sorry to hear you're also having bummer weather. We're about 6 foot deep right now with another 4 to 5 feet coming in, so I can definitely relate to that. I'm sorry to hear you two are having the cold blues. Apparently the U.S. is just experiencing a cold front in general, so I'm sorry to hear that you're kind of having the same weather we're having, and I hope that it changes for you too soon, because I don't want it. I'm sure you don't either. Yeah. Yeah, Canada shared, and I wish Canada had kept their stuff. I'm not trying to hate on Canada. I love Canada. I think maple syrup's awesome. I just think that they could keep their snow away from me. That's personal preference, though. Oh man, I'm so silly. I went over there to grab materials and I made a faux pas. I didn't grab the gas that was right there. No, I grabbed the materials. I just didn't raid the gas that I also need. So now we're gonna drive back. Better planning, crafters. Don't do what I'm doing. Do it better. Watch me fail and don't make the mistakes I'm making. Okay, well, she can go over here and do it. Yep. Well, I mean, I would prefer if everything's closed personally. So if you guys didn't hear what management she said everywhere, pretty much all the roads are closed for safety reasons. I would prefer the roads be closed because personally, I don't really want to leave the house right now anyway. The roads are not being plowed properly, so it's just a nightmare to go anywhere. It's just ridiculous. It's absolutely not. Oh, well, I thought it was just some snow from Canada, but if it's global warming, then I can't really prevent that.
Everyone's blaming Canada.
I don't know. I don't care where the snow's coming from, global warming or Canada. I just want it to stop. It's been oppressive. We can't go anywhere. And while we do have groceries for like the next week, if it goes on beyond that, we're gonna have a bit of a problem because we don't have a lot of money because we can't work. We've switched over to working for DoorDash, which is a food delivery company. We can't do that if all the roads are completely closed. So it's really kind of a pain in the rump. So that's what we're dealing with here. I hope everybody is staying safe out there, regardless of your situation. I don't wish anybody ill. I really hope everybody's staying warm, staying safe, because it just sounds like no matter where you're at, you're going through something right now.
Count, kiddos.
Yeah, I'm not sure that global warming is one of those things that you really can't do much about as one person. As a society, we could change things, but
I did DoorDash for 2 years. Paid good at first, but fell off as far as payment. Well, they have new things. Payment.
DoorDash has recently updated their processes. What happened is they were taken to court with Uber and with Postmates, and they were told that they now have to pay per mile and some other things that make it easier for people to work and live. I think that, yeah, there's a minimum cash guarantee now, which means that even when we make less money, we end up at the end of the pay period, which is 1 week, getting more money just because.
I might get more money tonight.
Yeah, just because of how they've got it set up. DoorDash has taken a lot of steps to make it more of an employment and less of a, because before it was contractors and they didn't care as much. For those who didn't know, back in the day, DoorDash was all contracted. It was, you get in your car and you do your thing and we'll pay you if you do it. Now it's, you're an employee, you're not a contractor, so they have to take your safety into consideration and a bunch of other things. Because like I said, they were sued along with Postmates and Uber. And the result of that lawsuit was them taking Dashers more seriously. And, well, I don't really want to tell you guys how much money I make per week. I'm going to say it is more than enough to cover my bills and pay my stuff. But we have to be able to get out of the driveway and down the road and going, because where we live there are restrictions for the road, meaning you have to put chains or cables on your car. And as long as those restrictions are in place, due to the fact that DoorDash requires like timed delivery, we just don't feel comfortable doing it because we would end up deactivated just due to the fact that we're taking too long.
A month ago, I saw a 5-mile trip for $2.50.
Wow. Well, in our community, I think the benefit we have is there's one main road, and everything is off of that main road. The furthest we've had to go was maybe 10, 15 minutes out of our way. So,
But apparently people up here tip up the hoo-ha.
yeah, also the community is a tourist-based one, so people tend to tip more. Anyway, back to State of Decay 2. Sorry, I went off on a liaison.
Upwards of $800. I don't mind sharing.
That's a lot more than we're making, but we live with families, so we don't have rent or anything that we're having to cover, so we make enough to make ends meet.
Well, I meant if we actually did every day.
But wow, that's a lot more money than.
Must be a big hub.
You've gotta have a central hub by you. That's a lot better than mine.
We're in Timbuktu.
Yeah, we kind of live well off the beaten shore. All right, so the last thing. We got about 20 minutes left together, so the last thing I was going to go
I live in
over.
a bigger city as well, yep.
Oh, that's what I thought. Alright, last thing State of Decay 2 related today. Sorry, we kind of went off into La La Land. I'm sorry, crafters. But I think it's important to discuss certain things so you guys know. Would be, this is what Citizen looks like. It's the level below Hero, like we talked about. You can see when you go over to Farhat, all his stuff is lit up, not grayed out. Back at Citizen level, it's there, it's available, you can see it, but it's grayed out. That was one of the things I wanted to show you guys. Thank you, Miss Computer Lady, for showing. And while we talked, the Command Center 2 was able to finish, so that's awesome sauce. No, I need to go find circuitry, so that's going to be the next thing we're going to do, is go on a mission to specifically find some circuitry. I know where some is, but I'm going to go pretend that I don't know where it is. Yep, just for lore, I pretend like I don't know this map and I haven't been here 30,000 times, even though I have, because there's only 5 maps? 5 maps, yeah. So, I mean, at some point you kind of learn where the stuff is. But I'm going to go over here and go scout in this direction for absolutely no reason, because I totally don't know where I'm going. But for those of you who are new, you would just be driving around, so let me show you a tip for Providence Ridge at least. So if you drive this way and you pass this bunker, just keep driving. Okay, you're gonna see this little dude over here. Okay, there's a truck here for me right now. That's very thoughtful of them. Thank you. And you're gonna go over here to this tower, which is a scouting tower, and you're gonna go up the tower. And this is gonna unlock another area. Boom, 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 boom. Hey, don't fall off these ladders, as I showed you last time. It will hurt from this height up here. It's almost gonna kill your character. on green. On higher than green, it will... I've had characters die for this
That's not
height.
good.
Okay, good. Take all that. Thank you. And before you go down, don't just take the box and go down like I was about to. You actually want to scout and hit all these little white question marks, which will basically unlock your area more and show you more stuff. There is a vehicle called the Scouting something or another. The Scouting vehicle. I'm sorry, I don't remember what it's called because I don't use it. But there is a vehicle that will auto-scout for you, but you have to find it. Yeah, how suspicious that it's right here. Totally didn't know it was here. Like I said, crafters, unfortunately for me, a lot of the mystery has been taken out of the game because I played so much. So that is one of the chief complaints of people who have been playing this game for a while, is even though they added the new map of Tremble Valley, that was a while ago, and there has been no new maps coming out, and the developers have said that wasn't really one of their things that they were looking for. They're looking to improve the overall performance of State of Decay and some of the inner workings of it, but not necessarily add a bunch more content. I really don't want those two things right now. What I really came over here for was to open the circuitry box and get some circuits. Because electrical places and plumbing places tend to have more opportunity at circuitry. Here's what a circuit looks like. I got 3 of the 10 I need. That's fantastic. Any more are going to be up here. But yeah, anywhere that does electricity or plumbing are your best bets for getting circuits. Oh my gosh, there were 5 in there, so now we're 2 away. Okay, that's fine. Do I have enough room? I do. Let's grab these 2 things and get out of here. Yeah, you can have it. You can have the place now. I'm done with it. Have a good one. Bye-bye. So, the next place that I know of would be like way over there. But I don't want to do that right now. So we're going to just backtrack for right now. I didn't get the 10 circuitry that I wanted, but I don't want to drive further down that way because I'm not ready to go that way yet. I was hoping for 10. Sometimes I luck out and get 10, but I got 8. Yeah, that's one of the places in the game. I didn't name it. I didn't do it. They did. Sorry for that lag, crafters. My Wi-Fi is getting a little lag-tastic today. Might have something to do with there is one place in town that supplies all of the Wi-Fi, and they have been having back-to-back power outages. So if I disappear, my apologies. It's not my intent. Just we're under a winter storm warning, as I've said. So it's what it is. All right. The next thing that management wants me to show you guys is how the game works as far as getting rid of stuff. So if you have stuff you don't want, there's 2 methods. You can sell the stuff like we've been doing, or you can grind the stuff down using the salvage mechanic, which is when you salvage something, most items in the game now have a parts value, and you'll see that on their card. So it's going to say the name, so in this case it's a pipe threader. Then it's going to tell you what type it is. It's a blunt weapon. It's going to tell you below that its weight and its salvage value. That salvage value is the value you'll get upon doing the salvage action. And in this case, this pipe threader that I don't want is worth 35 parts to me. You'll see in the bottom right, for at least console, it does say that there is a salvage action for right trigger, so you can hold down right trigger. But if you do it and don't have a workshop built, you'll get this message. It says, missing facility. You do not have the prerequisite facility. Please build a workshop. And I'll tell you exactly what it wants you to do. So in this case, the next thing we got to do, tag in a workshop and get that built. That is going to progress your mission living in a material world. So if you were not ready for that, you weren't ready for your trader to wander away, you weren't ready to begin State of Decay 2, don't do that action.
I'll be right there.
Yep, that's what I'm working with. That's nice. So now I've got a timer of just about 3.5 minutes for the workshop to be built. I can't grind out any of the things, and you'll see that my trader that I called in, because I had the perk, is now gone home. Yeah, don't look at that. That's fine. Nobody's going to talk about Beeper's gun colors. It's fine. He has a really good gun. So now it wants me to do the first step of the mission, which is a cure for all seasons. It's the mission you get after the very first mission. And it wants you to go over and it wants you to meet what what are these things called? An enclave that's going to help you. I have an extra enclave called the Boon Trader on my map because I took the Trader perk. If you do not take the Trader perk, you won't see the Boon Trader. This will be the first enclave you get to interact with. Their name changes, but their purpose is always the same. It's just the first people. They always want the same thing. So we're going to go ahead and give them what they want. They want 3 plague samples. You get plague samples by killing the red plague-infested zombies. On green, it's an almost every zombie drops a plague sample. As you go upwards in difficulty, as we discussed in the first tutorial, you get less and less frequent plague sample drops. So keep that in mind, that not every zombie kill will result in a plague sample for you if your difficulty is higher than green. I'm showing this off in green because I want it to be frequent. Very frequent. Extremely frequent. So I'm going to run these samples over and show you guys the dialogue that happens for the very first mission. I see that zombie walking. I have my graphics set to where even at night I can see. It's a brightness setting, so if you guys are running through your world and you can't see the way I can, the difference between our games would be I have my brightness maxed out. The reason I turn my brightness up so high is because I want to be able to see in the dark, and I don't like the little flashlight. That's off, that's on. See, even with brightness maxed out, I turn it off, the flashlight isn't doing a whole heck of a lot.
This should clear up.
Yeah, I hear you, Beeper, but that's not what we're doing today, brother. We're not doing that. We're going over here to talk to these nice people about what they've got for me. Hello. Yeah, but they've got something for me. Who do I need to speak to? It specifically wants Han. So this is Cade. This is Gerald. Everybody's named, so you have to find the person it wants you to talk to. Han? Okay, you're Han. You got a cute. So this is the first engagement with somebody. Oh, I thought it was 3. I remember it being 3. Okay, whatever. He says, our supply of plague samples has run low. If you can find more, we have fuel to trade. So he's offering you a ruck of fuel in exchange for some plague samples. In this case, he says, I need 2 of them. You can say, yo, I've got the 2. We're all good. If you don't have it, it will be grayed out. And you can say, like, I think we can handle that and agree to find it. Or you can say, like, bro, I don't want to find your plague samples. And they are going to get mad at you. And you're going to have a harder time dealing with this enclave. So I'm going to go ahead and tell him, I've got what you want. He's going to give me 500 influence, take my 2 plague samples, and give me a bag of fuel. And you'll see in the top left, the relationship status went from neutral, which means they don't know you, they don't want to know you, to friendly, which means they're more willing to do business with you. There are multiple ratings in this game for community standing, outside standing. I'm not sure what the technical term is for it. It's your relationship with outside enclaves. I know at the very bottom level you have a hostile enclave. That's somebody that they're going to shoot on sight. This is what happens if you get grabbed. You have a tendency to get damaged. I'm getting grabbed and slapped, and I'm trying to fight back, but I'm just heavy. So that's something to keep in mind. When you're heavy, it's harder to fight back. But when you get grabbed, you get a tendency to take on an injury. My case is probably a scrape, because I'm on green, so it's not going to be anything too hostile. As the difficulty increases, your penalty increases, so you'll get nastier injuries. And you'll miss your headshots, because Beeper's just absolutely in a mood, apparently. But anyway, as I was saying, the bottom level of relationship you can have with an outside enclave would be hostile. That means they will shoot you on sight and they want nothing to do with you. Above that is a cold community. That's somebody you've declined doing business with enough times that they're right above hostile. They will not shoot you, but they are very close to becoming hostile, and depending on your actions, depends what the community does. I've never personally been able to get a community to rise from the cold status, but people have said in their games they have done a lot more work, played with them a lot longer, and they've gotten it back up to neutral. Neutral is the middle party. That's what those people were before we helped them. They don't know us, we don't know them, but they're willing to take a chance and invite us over and see if we can do something for them. Above that, it's friendly, which is what they're at now, which means they're more inclined to give us discounts and just be nicer with us because we've done something to help them. And in fact, if you look at their card, it's been updated to say, we helped them out by giving them some plague samples and shared the information with each other about cure recipes. So whatever you do, it will update your little blurb as well. And then the top one is, I believe, Allied is the technical name, and that is somebody you are like locked in, you're BFFs with those people. They're going to give you the maximum discount, and they'll charge you even less for recruiting. At friendly status, it's 750 influence to recruit one of their members. At Allied, it's free. Keep in mind that recruiting from an enclave disbands the enclave. So if you have an enclave you really like, you really want to participate with, don't disband them by taking one of their members, because you will lose whatever bonus they're providing you. Bonuses occur at allied status only. Alright, we got about 5 minutes left together. I want to thank everybody for their time, their energy, and effort. Hope you guys have enjoyed today's 1 hour playthrough. Like I said, I've got to get my jacket back on, get outside, and continue shoveling that beautiful snow. Sorry that we kind of went off the track with the whole DoorDash discussion, but I thought it was important to just, be normal and have a conversation. I really dislike it when streamers, they refuse to talk to their chat about anything, and they kind of, lock it down and say game only. I did try to eventually get it back on track to bring in the game, but I think it's important to remember I'm a human being, and we're all humans, and talking it's a social activity. It's fun. So, again, my apologies it went on a little bit longer, but I've been out of the sauce for so long that I want to keep my community alive any way possible. So, again, thank you for your time, energy, and effort. I'm going to close out with some speedrun tips for gameplay. The first one would be if your member has taken any kind of damage, including like a scrape or damage taken, you want to trade off of them. You don't want to stay on them because they don't heal when you have them up unless you're providing them medical care, unless you're going out of your way to give them medical treatment. Like a bandage or some health pills. Unless you're doing that, they're not healing, and they will passively heal with this building over here. This is the infirmary that provides medical care. Even at tier 1, it provides medical care to your community. There's a myth going around that it doesn't do that, but it says enables passive health recovery and removal of trauma and infection in its first sentence. That is what this building does. That is why it is important to get one of those constructed. Now that our workshop is finished, we can come in here and show you a couple of things. The first thing I want to show you is there is this little button down here. How I got to that is I clicked on the main workshop, it brought up this screen, and then I just clicked on the first one that says craft items or produce ammo. Or actually the second one, my apologies. Repair and salvage weapons. You're going to click this. You're going to go down to the second row where it says salvage all the way to the right. If you have a pile of weapon remains in your inventory, in your community inventory, for 6 minutes and 40 seconds, you can do a process called salvaging them, and you'll get 50 parts. So I want to start that process, and then I'll go back over here. And even though that building, that facility is busy, we can still grind stuff down. So like I was talking about earlier, I don't want this pipe threader, but one item isn't enough for me to sell. I'm going to go ahead and salvage it. Now you can see it comes up and says, salvage the pipe threader for 35 parts. Salvaging will destroy this item. And I'm like, yes, give me the 35 parts. And now I get 35 parts and the item's removed. I also don't want this Bowie machete. It's just too heavy for my use. I'm going to get 35 parts for this as well. I'm going to go ahead and salvage that out, and then that part is done. We got about 2 minutes left, so I'm going to continue just discussing some generic tips I've learned through gameplay. If your survivors become sleepy, that is not a good condition to have the survivors in, and you want to try to remedy sleepy survivors by trading them out at a base or an outpost and letting them go back and go to sleep, because they will have a massive drain on their stamina to where they won't be able to fight or run, and that will get them killed. Again, this is a permadeath game. You don't want to put your survivors in any situation where they're uncomfortable or where they really can't handle themselves. As you saw, I do have the ability to recruit another legacy survivor. And I'm actually going to go ahead and do that process again. So if you missed it the first time, you click the button, you pay 1,200 influence. There's a little radio chat that happens. You get to this page, and will now tell me, last time it said I had 15 of 50. Now it says I have 14 of 50, because last time I took a member out. This time I'm also going to pull a member out. And the person that I'm going to ask to join us is my secondary sheriff, just because she brings in extra food to the community, and I like to get her into the community early. Her bonus fishing just provides 2 food per day. So I'm going to get her pulled into our community. Now you see it goes up to 5th. She says hello.
Then get to work.
She's now actively in the community. You can see her. She's right over here. She's in here, and she's just vibing and thriving. As you can see, her bonus is +2 food per day just for having the knowledge of fishing. So now we got her in here. Let me show you. The last thing we're going to cover today is the base menu. This is the base menu. You just click on the first box where it says resources. And this, I've showed it to you in tutorial 1. I'm showing you again in tutorial 2. This shows you everything. So the survivors were eating 1.8 food a day because I had so many people in here. That is taking into account the fact that I have 1 meal plan active. That's why my number is probably differing from your number. With 5 people in and eating, they're eating 1.875 food per day with meal plan, with 1 stack of meal plan active. And Alligator is bringing in 2 food a day, meaning we're technically in the positive. So we're not losing food every time a day card hits. That is my easy peasy early game solution to the food crisis, is to bring in someone with fishing and have them put me in the positive, so I know I don't have to worry about food just depleting and being dragged out. So now I don't have to worry about meds, and I don't have to worry about food for this moment. The community is, in my mind, stable. We're doing much better than we would be doing if we didn't have that sitting in here and available. You can see we have no other pools. There's no other red text. So this is a community I consider handled right now. The survivors are eating food, but Alligator is fishing and bringing in food. The survivors are using medicine, but Hannah is bringing in medicine. So for every out, there is an in, which means that the community is balanced and stable, and the fireworks fortress is popping off exactly how I want it to be doing. Alright, with that said, we're past the 60-minute mark, and management has informed me there is more snow to shovel. Thank you for your time, your energy, and effort. Shout out to Zeto for hanging out with us for a while. Thank you so much for the conversation and the information. I had a blast streaming for you guys today. I may be back later. Depends how tired I get from snow shoveling. Again, thank you for your energy, effort, and time. If it's cold where you are, heat it up. If it's hot where you are, cool it off. Stay safe, crafters. Keep on crafting. Kitty Craft out.